Meet the Wallaces from Bolton. Bill, Jane, Olivia, Emily and their 2 dogs. Shih Tzu Lady's absolutely no problem. Doberman Harvey absolutely is. He fights, pounces, pulls, pees and causes big family problems. Will Victoria be able to take control of this demonic Doberman?
Harvey!
Who's walking home?
Before he tears the family apart.
I've not created all the problems, love. I've only created a few.
What problem have I created?
Six months ago, the Wallaces and Lady, their pampered Shih Tzu, lived a relatively stress-free existence.
Bye.
Well, Jane did.
I used to be able to go to the gym and spend half the day there, and then maybe do a little bit of shopping.
Then Jane fell in love with the idea of owning a bigger dog.
Because I wanted a dog that we could walk, say, round a reservoir, have like romantic walks together on a Sunday afternoon.
The reservoir dog she went for was Doberman pup Harvey. And
It didn't turn out that way.
Harvey! Come back!
Jane and Harvey don't get on at all. Instead of a companion dog, she ended up with an uncontrollable monster.
Stop it!
It's just too physically strong.
Oh, Harvey! Harvey!
Mum's become a lot more stressed since we got Harvey.
You're just ridiculous.
With Bill out working, it's Jane that must look after him during the day.
See you later.
On walks, Harvey hates other dogs.
Harvey, no!
He's a big thug.
And back home, bullies Lady and treats her like a toy.
You okay?
Although Jane and Harvey don't get on, big softy Bill lavishes him with attention, especially when he gets home from work.
Bill loves Harvey and Harvey loves Bill.
Well, I'm very soft with him, really.
You're spoiling him.
No, I'm just giving him a cuddle and just reassuring him that I'm back home.
Sometimes it even looks like Bill prefers Harvey to Jane.
It's going too far when the last person that Bill kisses at night is Harvey.
In fact, they've become so attached that Harvey pines and then pees everywhere when Bill's away.
Yes, I am Mrs. Mop. I've never mopped so much in all my life.
Harvey was meant to bring Bill and Jane closer together. But with all these problems, he's now driving them apart.
He likes you better than me.
I've not created all the problems, love. I've
Well,
only
what
created a
problem
few.
have I created?
Can dog trainer Victoria Stillwell haul in this hellhound and bring this family back together before it's too late?
When buying a second dog, you have to do your research, not just on the breed, but on its personality too. Getting it wrong can mean big trouble for the whole family.
This is something the Wallaces have discovered rather late in the day. So can Victoria change things for them?
There we are.
Oh my God!
No.
That's a big dog. Where are those manners? Okay, let's go inside.
Okay, thank you.
Inside, Victoria witnesses firsthand just how attached Harvey is to Bill.
Come on. No, Harvey. Yes, I see you. Good boy. Good boy. No.
This is a love fest, isn't it?
He just loves Bill.
Wow, that really is a love fest, isn't it?
But Bill isn't the only one getting attention.
Okay, come on, no, Harvey.
She obviously is now saying, get off.
He doesn't understand doggy language.
No.
Another problem is peeing on the floor.
So is this his normal leaving routine then?
Yes, sometimes I would be in the kitchen with him, but he would be following Bill round until he leaves.
He's weeing right now. What was interesting there is that immediately Bill went out. He whimpered, peed. This is definitely separation anxiety.
Next, Victoria wants to see what Harvey's like on walks.
Now, I know you don't normally like walking him, but I have to see what he's like and how responsive he is on the lead to you, OK?
No.
Harvey!
Who's walking whom?
Stop!
I can't go much further with it.
No, for you. Your hands are red, I can see that. And he is a very strong dog.
If he got any faster, he'd just run. And
He'd just
I'm
run.
frightened I just can't keep up with him.
No, he would pull you over.
Walking Harvey is clearly a stressful event for Jane, which gets even worse around other dogs.
I'm not going... There's a dog down there.
There's a dog down there.
No,
okay.
I'm not going down there.
Okay, all right.
He's seen that dog.
Victoria's keen to see how Harvey reacts when he's near other dogs. So Bill is called in to try and control him should things turn nasty.
He wants to get to that dog. And what he would physically do when he got to them, nobody knows, because that's never happened yet. No, Harvey. No, Harvey.
It was interesting to see how his hackles were raised from the very back of his neck right down to his tail. He's very unconfident. I still don't know what his reaction would be if he actually got to greet another dog, okay?
Suddenly, Harvey slips his lead and makes for the other dogs.
Harvey, watch, Harvey, come here, come here.
Harvey turns back.
Harvey.
It's a complete surprise.
There are two other dogs there, but he listens to you. That, I mean, you train years for that. So that's very encouraging. What I saw there was a dog that has no doggy manners whatsoever. His hackles were raised. He was obviously pretty stressed, very unconfident. But what was really fascinating to see is when he accidentally slipped his lead, he started to go towards the dogs, but as soon as he was called back by Bill, he came back. And that speaks volumes. He actually doesn't want to go out and kill any of these dogs out there.
It's clear Harvey doesn't know how to behave around dogs, including the other family pet, Lady. Victoria thinks this and his other problems are being made worse by Bill and Jane.
The question I want to ask you is, how do you think Harvey feels in this house?
I would have thought he was happy.
I think Harvey's happy in one way, but I also think that he suffers with a lot of anxieties in another. You're his number one. When you leave, he pees. That's not being spiteful, it's because he's anxious. Number two, his unconfidence outside with other dogs. Because believe me, all of that display, raising the hackles, all that, is all from a dog that is lost. Dobermans are bred to guard. They're bred to be watchdogs. They make terrific police dogs. That's what they're used for. They're tough dogs, and they need to have real direction in their lives. I don't think you've given him the direction that he needs. I think you've given up on him, and I think Harvey has become to you just an annoying dog. Life was a lot better when he wasn't here. And I think you are trying to make up for that by being the one that gives him all the affection, gives him the attention. You have to take a step back, you have to take a step forward. And be on exactly the same page, because in the end, Harvey does not speak English. He talks dog. Training, I think, is going to be very hard for them, especially for Jane, because she's given up. And it's going to take a lot to motivate her again.
In order to transform Harvey from an antisocial beast to a family pet, Victoria's going to have to get Bill and Jane working together. First, she wants to work on Bill's soft approach to his uncontrollable dog, whom she believes needs firm boundaries. Using the right commands and body language, Victoria demonstrates how to take control.
Sorry, Olivia. Okay, let him go. Harvey, good boy, stop. Good boy, good boy, good boy.
You actually listened to her.
Good boy.
Like you'd never do that for us.
Let's hope so, because now it's Bill's turn.
I want him to understand that when you say stop, you put your hands out like that as a signal that he stops.
Come
okay,
on.
let him go.
Come on. Stop. Stop. Stop.
I want you to go stop like that. I want you to be really whoop.
Right. Stop. Stop. Stop.
Finally, Bill brings Harvey under control.
Stop!
Awesome. You did it. Bill, you're the best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jane has never really bonded with Harvey because he's too hard to handle. Victoria wants to transform their relationship by turning Jane into a confident dog walker.
Harvey, no! How can you walk with the dog like this?
To help, Victoria's brought along a few tricks of the trade.
I really want you to be able to walk him. And I really want you to be able to enjoy the walks with him. Because at the moment, I can see it's an absolute nightmare for you, okay? So I'm going to start to walk him on a head collar. If you have control of its head, the dog cannot pull. Because as soon as it pulls, its head automatically comes round. Good boy.
This strange new head collar will take some getting used to.
There you go. What a good boy. If you take Harvey out more, the less attached he will be to Bill. If he's going to be more focused on you, because now it's going to be Mummy that's going to take him out for a walk, not Bill.
Me.
Mummy. Yes. Harvey, let's go.
With a new head collar, Victoria wants to give Jane the confidence to control Harvey, meaning she can finally bond with him.
Good boy, Harvey. Boy. Let's go. Let's go back to your mama. Take over. That's it.
Right,
Never pull him.
Come
Don't
on,
pull.
Harvey.
That's it. Good.
Boy. Come on, Harvey.
Love it.
Come on. Good boy, Harvey.
You're motivating with your voice now. You're becoming much more exciting and you're taking control. And when you take control, you give him confidence too.
Controlling Harvey and having fun together is a real breakthrough for Jane, proving he doesn't hate her after all. Sticking with the training will pave the way for a better relationship between the two.
Bye-bye, good boy.
Things would be even better if Jane didn't have to clean up Harvey's pee every time her husband left for work. Victoria believes the wanton weeing is caused by separation anxiety that can be common when dogs form a strong bond with an owner as Harvey has with Bill. The best way to deal with it is by convincing Harvey being left home alone isn't forever.
So the training I want to do is to desensitize him to the fact that you both go out. Okay. If we move to the door, and all I want you to do is to walk out for a little bit, okay? Just so walk out. Going to wait a minute, actually just like 10 seconds, and then we're going to go back in again. Okay, let's do it again.
With repetition, Harvey will eventually learn that he's not going to be abandoned, leaving Jane with dry floors.
All right, you gradually build that up. If in 2 weeks' time you're only at 10 minutes, so be it, but you're at 10 minutes.
Victoria thinks the time is now right to tackle Harvey's most serious antisocial problem, other dogs. At home with Lady, he's a boisterous bully.
No!
But outside with big dogs, it's World War III. Victoria believes that the root to Harvey's reaction is fear, and that stems from a lack of socialization with dogs his own size.
Harvey, no!
With the help of an advert in the local rag and with Bill and Jane's approval, Victoria's organised a doggy get-together in a nearby park.
Now I have to say a warning here. We don't know what's going to happen. Everything is going to be done as safely as possible, but he could react badly.
Although Victoria believes he's more excitable than dangerous, a face-to-face meeting with Bull Mastiff Poppy could turn nasty. Taking no chances, Victoria has attached a muzzle and is taking control of Harvey herself. Although this could be hazardous, Bill and Jane feel a friendlier Harvey is worth the risk. But as Harvey approaches Poppy, things quickly go from bad to worse. Harvey repeatedly makes to lunge with only the muzzle keeping his teeth at bay.
I think it must be fear. It's got to be fear.
Success in this technique is to be persistent and to keep reintroducing Harvey to the other dog until he no longer sees it as a threat.
I'm thinking he's never going to like other dogs.
No, he's not barking now. He's walking.
After 10 minutes, Harvey finally starts to settle down.
Harvey. This is amazing that he's walking closer to a dog than he's ever done, and that he is not being as reactive.
Now Harvey's beginning to be sociable, Victoria feels confident enough to introduce another dog and to let Bill and Jane take the lead.
I am so pleased, because this gives me confidence that in the future he's going to have some doggy friends. That's so important.
Harvey's first stab at socialising has ended well.
He's never ever walked with a dog the same size as him.
No.
Ever. His hackles went down and he looked a bit more relaxed, and I thought he was very, very good.
It's time for Victoria to leave the Wallaces to practice training by themselves.
Jane and Belle have realised that I'm not going to come in with a magic wand and make everything better, because training doesn't work that way. Training is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of time, commitment and patience, and I hope they have that.
But Bill and Jane will have their work cut out for them training a dog like Harvey. Bred as guard dogs, the Doberman is valued for its physical and mental ability. Although they can be incredibly faithful and devoted pets, Doberman are not for the weak-willed. If no one gives them effective leadership from an early stage, there'll be big problems. Harvey is certainly living up to his breed's hell-raising stereotype. Back in Bolton, the Wallaces are hard at it implementing Victoria's training techniques on their clever Doberman. Even with his new head collar, Harvey's still hard work on walks, but things are improving. Jane is still nervous walking Harvey around other dogs, so Victoria's put her in touch with a local dog trainer to walk with them, boosting Jane's confidence and giving Harvey the socialisation he needs.
I'm pleased with him, that he just wants to play and he's not being aggressive. It's just getting him under control when you are walking him. It's a difficult thing.
Now Harvey has a friendlier attitude towards dogs his own size, he's beginning to relax around Lady.
Hiya.
Bill is finally getting his priorities right. He's more hands-on with Jane, less hands-on with Harvey. And when Harvey's left alone, the flow of pee has completely stopped.
How is he?
No, it doesn't even know we've gone. Now that Harvey is not weeing on the floors, I'm no longer Mrs. Mop, so that's a good positive move.
Now Victoria's back to see any progress for herself.
Hi, nice to see you. Come in, Victoria.
Thank you.
I have to say, it's really nice to see him lying on your lap and sleeping on your lap.
He does like me now, whereas before he wanted to always be with Bill.
Good.
He's more contented, isn't he?
He is more contented, yeah.
I think the fact that you have just sort of stepped up to the plate, as it were, and taken more control and being more confident, exercising him more, and that a lot of these other behaviours have gone.
Victoria wants to see what Jane's more confident control of Harvey is like.
Harvey, come on. Harvey, fetch. Harvey, come. Sit. 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 Good boy. Fetch, Harvey.
I have to tell you, I'm really impressed by the control you have.
Come on, Harvey.
Compared to when I first came here, this is really good.
It's a big step in the right direction, but there's still work to be done. And Victoria believes if the Wallaces keep up with the training, things will go from strength to strength.
It's a real relief to see that this family is no longer divided over their dog. Their equal, more balanced approach to Harvey is the real recipe for success.
We have had thoughts of giving him away, rehoming him, haven't we? But no, it does bring a lot to the family.
We love the dog and we're going to stick with it.